This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, everyone, and happy Friday to you, wherever you may be. This is the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST. My name is Luke, and I have been with you all season long. We got 2 more of these slogs to go, guys. 2! And tonight, sadly, we're talking about the Orioles' 8-4 loss at the hands of the New York Yankees. This is the Orioles POSTCAST. We stream these live to YouTube after every Orioles game. They're available on demand wherever you get your podcasts for free. Baltimore can't really set the world afire in 3 final games. They can spoil the Yankees' chances of winning the division. That's something that they can do. Not a whole lot of luck tonight, however, as I've seen in the chat right now in live comments, that all that really matters is that the Toronto Blue Jays win and the Yankees don't. That is a common sentiment. Boston Red Sox have achieved a playoff berth. So have the Blue Jays, so have the Yankees in a world where feels like the Orioles should have been in the mix and could have had they not stumbled out the gate the first month and a half. That's a story for another time. AL East tied between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. And unfortunately, what we're talking about today is the generational run for Trevor Rogers ends. Not with a bang, not with his best outing of the year, but a whimper.
This is what you'll be talking about.
It is the Trevor Rogers of yore, the one that was acquired last July for Kyle Stowers and Connor Norby. Auspicious start to it. You get Aaron Judge looking on a strikeout, backdoor slider, 83 miles an hour on the black. A peak CB Buckner call. Like actually probably one of the best that he made, just good eye for the breaking stuff there on the edge. He would burn the O's a little bit later, but to a man, like a great pitch. Not where Rogers wanted it at all. Adley Rutschman was trying to pound Judge inside as per the scouting report, and he gets him out. So 2 outs in the bottom of the first, a scoreless game. Cody Bellinger walks on 4 pitches. Fool me once, says CB Buckner. Ball 4 clearly in the zone. Fastball riding at 93 miles an hour. And the next batter, who else but a revitalized Giancarlo Stanton. 0-2 count. Rogers leaves the fastball up. Same quadrant as that ball 4 was to Cody Bellinger, just on the reverse side. He's facing a right-handed batter, but squared up. And Stanton, in that Mickey Mouse ballpark up there in the Bronx, able to go opposite field. If he extends his arms, it is game over, man. Game over. And Giancarlo hits it 397 feet to right center field. Exit velo at 108 to make it a 2-0 ball game. Game got interesting there in the 3rd inning. Jordan Westburg powering the O's back to a 3-2 lead. Looks like as long as Trevor Rogers can contain the Yankees and get some ground balls, as he had been doing the previous 17 starts of the year, well, now he's benefiting. Now he's got a 1-run lead, and it's gone. And it's gone.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And so it's one of those nights, it kind of reminds you of the Charlie Morton starts this year, or Cade Povich or Dean Kramer in April, where every mistake they made, every miscue worked against them. You take a look at Trevor Rogers' final line and the 52 pitches that he threw, and it was like every single time he missed the zone or gave up a hit, it was over the fence. And yeah, Jose Caballero walks to lead off the bottom of the 3rd. Not great to do when you are responsible for a shutdown inning. 1 out later, Aaron Judge becomes Arson Judge. Gets his revenge. Center cut heater hit to straightaway center field. Number 52 on the season for the prime MVP candidate. Should be Cal Raleigh. That's a story for another time. The Yankees are on top 4-3. Rogers just needs to get out of the weeds, give his team a chance. Walks Bellinger again, and then Stanton, first pitch hanging changeup, banged to center field. This one, a Ruthian 451 feet, tape measure home run, 112 the exit velo. That's 23 home runs for Giancarlo Stanton in an injury-shortened 2025 campaign. Rogers' 2025 ends not with a bang, but with a whimper. Credit to interim manager Tony Mansolino for not forcing the issue. As he did with Tyler Wells in Wellesley's most recent start, he didn't force the issue. If he's not feeling it, yank him. And that's what he did. After 3 innings, 6 earned runs, 3 hits, all 2-run bombs, the plug is pulled on Trevor Rogers. 52 pitches. Masson had put up a graphic pregame about, I don't even remember what the exact specifications were. I can look it up on my phone if you give me 1 second. When it comes to Trevor Rogers compared to Walter Johnson. I'm trying to remember where it was. Yeah, I must have lost it. Well, there was something about the number of starts and an ERA of sub 180. Oh, yeah, here it is. Sub 150 ERA and an 800 winning percentage. Walter Johnson in 1913 and Trevor Rogers in 2025. Heading into tonight, Rogers with a 135 ERA ascends to 181. That is the increase. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 3 home runs for Trevor Rogers. All he can do, pack it in, go work out, get some more strength in that lower body, come back, and set the world afire in 2026. Some history for Gunnar Henderson, as he didn't light it up at the plate in terms of power numbers this year. However, he was consistent most everywhere else. We'll talk about that coming up after the break. And power stroke returns. Jordan Westberg, Tyler O'Neill cashing in. This is the Orioles postcast. I got a fever, and the only cure is more Rugiet. For some reason, my Tylenol isn't working. You've heard of Viagra and Cialis. Maybe you've tried them, guys. But if you're looking for something a little bit extra, a little bit beyond the usual pill, let me introduce you to Rugiet Go Long. It's not just another ED pill. It's a game changer which prides itself on confidence. We could all use a little bit of that. Insecure simpleton like me knows that the effects can last up to 36 hours. That's confidence all day, all night, and even into the next day. To be fair, I'm talking about confidence. Anything else that lasts more than 4 hours, you're on your own, pal. You're on your own, buddy. Get ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom. Head to rugiet.com and use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com, promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's all one word, and it's Rugiet. Make sure to use their code so they know that you were sent by the best podcast in the world. In the world. Show's also brought to you by FanDuel. NFL season. Excited for Sunday. Excited to go out, explore all the businesses that are legally streaming with a commercial license. Right now, customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Quick, easy, and best way to add a little bit more energy to Sundays. If you're ready to play, do this. Download the FanDuel app by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Thanks as always to FanDuel for sticking with us in this 2025 campaign and sponsoring this show. Comment section is almost predicting my lines. Dental Office having a lot of kind words for me in the chat here live on YouTube says that Trevor Rogers should have taken some Rugiet. This is so nice. I hope this isn't my dad's burner account. That's really nice. Jeff Molnar says that Trevor Rogers still deserves an extension. I would agree with that, despite it not being a good outing at all. Dental Office comments, he is not an ace, a fluke half season. I would trade him this offseason. His trade value will never be higher. Interesting. There were reports, multiple national reports, that the Orioles were fielding calls on Trevor Rogers. However, they have all the leverage in that situation, a guy with another year of control on his contract. They would have wanted a blue chip prospect, likely, for someone pitching to a 140 ERA. And it was meant to be. And the way that the Orioles are kind of in flux, where they are bringing up this young talent, Dylan Beavers, Samuel Basayo, guys who are getting their sea legs, Jackson Holiday still growing and progressing, and trying to pair that with guys who are about to enter their prime years, Westberg, Henderson, maybe Adley Rutschman. There's a lot of meat left on the bone. So, yeah, that's that. Appreciate you all tuning in here and commenting. This is a lively section here on Friday night, guys. Uh, confide in one another. Be strong and be nice to each other. O's getting their power stroke back a little bit. Their best chance was behind Jordan Westberg. 3 for 5 tonight, by far his best game since coming off the IL this month. Top of the third, 2 outs against right-hander Will Warren. I'll set the scene for you. Kobe Mayo hits a dribbler to shortstop Anthony Volpe, roughly 40 miles an hour off the bat. Can't corral it, can't make the exchange. Mayo gets into first base with a well-fielded single, with a well-placed ball. To be honest, been a month of trending upwards for Mayo, starting to identify off speed a little bit better, starting to hit for more contact. Like, there's something there. Jackson Holiday then walks, and up comes Jordan Westberg, behind in the count 0-2. Gets a sweeper from Warren. He's trying to go inside, leaves a little bit closer to the inside edge of the plate. Great bat speed by Westberg. His hands are back. He is not out on his front foot. This was a heck of a swing. Frozen rope to left field, just tucked over the fence. I loved that swing. 16th home run of the year for Westy, and made it a 3-2 ball game. And Tyler O'Neill, the general, getting in on the action. First home run since August 4th. He has had multiple IL stints this year that have really tanked what could have been a strong finish to the year. People forget that in July, O'Neill hit 259 and was slugging almost 600. There was that brief moment in time. And again, it's less than 20% of the season. But the reason that I am kind of an O'Neill truther is I have seen him play well before. I've seen him do not so great before. But to end the season, just please do something. And he did. First home run since early August, cut the deficit to 6-4, knocked Warren out of the game, going Oppo Taco on a high 93-mile-an-hour slider. Frankly, it reminded me of his very first home run as an Oriole this year on opening day. Going Oppo. Man. They had their chances. They could have made this game a lot cooler. Top of the 7th, 2 outs, right-hander Fernando Cruz comes in. O'Neill and Dylan Carlson walk, and they can't get a run across. And that's what happens when you go 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position and 13 strikeouts. Gunnar Henderson became the youngest Oriole in history to have 30 stolen bases in a season. Breaks the record set by Don Baylor. Henderson is 24 years old and stared down the would-be legendary Cubs manager in 2001 and said, "Hey, my turn." Sure did. And that was right after Westberg connected for that home run. Dylan Beavers left the game with right shin discomfort. He was replaced by the aforementioned Dylan Carlson. Had a really good defensive play before that. Bottom of the second, Anthony Volpe getting a fastball high around 91. Fastball off a tick by Trevor Rogers tonight. Hits it towards left center field. Beavers still trying to figure out what his sprint speed is or his read off the bat. He's got the length, and that's what helped him out here. Leaps towards the center field side and is able to corral the ball. Good extension in a 2-0 ball game. And Jordan Westberg, in addition to getting it done at the plate, did it in the field as well. Bottom 5, Paul Goldschmidt leading off against right-hander Colin Selby, who threw 2 scoreless innings in relief of Trevor Rogers. A sharp hit ground ball down the left field line. Great backhanded play by Westberg. I encourage you to go look up this play. Quick exchange, able to bounce it to Kobe Mayo. Goldschmidt, notoriously not a fast runner. Westberg had time. Strong throw, short hop, picked by Mayo, who's doing a darn good job at first base. Working with a former Cardinal first baseman, getting a former Cardinal first baseman out. John Mabry, the assistant on the Orioles. There was one thing with Westburg that looked a little bit off, and Ben McDonald brought it up on the Masson broadcast. Bottom 7 bases juiced, lefty Jose Castillo on the mound. Giancarlo Stanton with a chopper to Westy. Goldschmidt is running inside the third base line, but it seemed like there was a weird exchange by Westburg where his momentum was carrying him towards the pitcher's mound and towards the right side of the field. And rather than get the force out at home, he went to first base. A run scored and made it an 8-4 ball game. The O's carry on. They have a 105 first pitch on Masson with the potential to still play a little bit of spoiler in the Yankees series. That duty rests on the shoulders of right-hander Tomoyuki Sagano. Going for his 11th win in his final start in his debut season as an Oriole, 4.54 ERA. You may recall last Saturday, he had a rough go of it against those Yankees, 4 earned runs in 3 innings pitched. He will go up against, oh boy, bring out the FCC, right-hander Cam Schlittler. 3-3 with a 3.27 ERA. The guy whose name I don't want to say again was outdueled by Bradish on Sunday. But the Yanks won 7-1 in 10 innings. A 6-run top of the 10th. The Keegan Egan special. We're going to cap it here on a Friday night. Let's take a look. Whew. I'm taking a look at the comment section before we wrap things up. Jeff Molnar agrees it's a good swing by Jordan Westburg. And we got a fan here commenting, thanking us for our analysis. Myself and the head honcho here, Connor Newcomb, said made O's fans feel a lot better with all the analysis and kept the hope up for 2026. I do not deal in sunshine pumping. You can have a million criticisms about me because I do things a lot differently than Connor, and I do things a lot differently than a lot of hosts do for podcasts. So criticism is warranted. I don't lie to people, and especially when it comes to prognosticating. I I don't know what next year is going to look like. There's a lot of work to be done. I'll tell you that much. Next year is not guaranteed whatsoever. There's some pieces, there's some potential, there's talent. One of the commenters here, and I forgot who it was. You can comment down if it was you, who said the O's are a team with talent. However, they are not a talented team in the context of winning and putting up consistent performances. That was the story this year. And you got 2 more games to swallow it, along with Tylenol. Okay, that's it. The O's dropped this one. The final score tonight: the New York Yankees 8 and the Baltimore Orioles 4. Good night, stay safe, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow night.